Fan Zhendong, 2024 Paris Olympics, August 1st. Pressure starts here. The stadium was electric, every seat filled, every voice buzzing with tension. Across the table, Fan Zhendong stood like a forged weapon, calm, silent, perfectly focused. But on the other side, Harimoto erupted into the arena like a live grenade, screaming, charging, firing himself into a frenzy. And before you could even process it, Harimoto blasted the 2020 Olympic champion with this score in the first set. It wasn't just a strong start, it was Harimoto's chaos hitting Fan Zhendong's calm like a hammer on steel, fire slamming into ice. And you were right in the middle of it. Was Fan Zhendong really in danger, or was this just a spark before the giant woke up? Set 1, the storm bursts. Harimoto came in like a lightning strike, violent, explosive, fearless. Fan Zhendong didn't flinch, and the entire arena lost its mind in shock. You thought the worst was over after that first set? Not even close. Harimoto never let up. Pressure, attacks, chaos pouring non-stop. And you can see it. Fan Zhendong's iron focus finally wavered. You thought Harimoto would continue to win after 2 o'clock. Not even close. Suddenly, you felt a shift. Fan Zhendong erupted with brutal accuracy. Harimoto was pushed back, helpless as the throne tilted back toward its king. Every rally bent to Fan Zhendong's will, precise, relentless, merciless. The match leveled, and the whole arena tightened with electric tension. But this next rally? It wakes him up like fire. Momentum snapped back. Harimoto ignited, fast and fearless. Even the great Fan Zhendong was suddenly driven onto the back foot. Locked in with killer focus, Fan Zhendong turned every defensive touch into a counterstrike. Slowly, relentlessly, he pulled the momentum back under his control. Set 7, the decisive moment. With iron focus, Fan Zhendong punished every loose ball, turning defense into instant offense. The momentum swung hard, his control tightening until Harimoto had no space left to breathe. Fan Zhendong completed a thrilling comeback. Calm, ruthless, unstoppable. But wait, if you thought Tomokazu vs Fan Zhendong was explosive, are you ready for Sun Yingsha vs Chen Meng? If you love rivalries that burn with this kind of intensity, hit like and subscribe, because the battles only get hotter from here. Sun Yingsha, 2024 Paris Olympics, August 3rd, where Sun Yingsha faces the storm again. Listen, the entire crowd loses it at this moment. Sun Yingsha came in with pure aggression, fast, sharp, explosive. Chen Meng stood across from her with that calm, suffocating control she's famous for. But the emotion comes from the pain. You feel it too. Sun Yingsha pushed Chen Meng to the edge again and again, but lost the biggest final in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Now she's back on the Olympic stage again. Stronger, hungrier, desperate to rewrite the ending. Was Sun Yingsha finally about to rise? Or would you watch her fall to Chen Meng again? Set 1, Sun Yingsha takes command. Sun Yingsha opened with pure fire, blitzing the table with speed and daring variations. Chen Meng never flinched, locking in with quiet steel and answering each attack with surgical accuracy. You guess Sun Yingsha can sweep Chen Meng? Not even close. Suddenly, momentum shifted. Chen Meng takes command early, angles, pace, placement all bending to her will. Sun Yingsha fires back with urgency, but Chen's relentless rhythm tightens around her like a vice. Then, the champion strikes. Chen Meng turns up the heat, steady, ruthless, absolutely unmoving. Sun Yingsha feels the walls closing in, pushed into frantic counterplay as Chen refuses to give an inch. You think Chen Meng is about to steamroll 4-1, hold on, this is where the whole match erupts. Suddenly, Sun Yingsha explodes. Sun Yingsha pushes back hard, fast, bold, and unafraid, her attacks slicing through Chen's defense. The pressure peaks, and at last, Chen Meng breaks. The arena erupts. But then, momentum shifted. The champion reacts with flawless instinct, blocks snapping tighter, shots landing with surgical precision, focus like steel. Sun Yingsha is driven into risky swings, and pays the price for every one. Set 6, the decisive moment. This wasn't table tennis, it was war, both players hitting impossibles and refusing to break. But when it counted, Chen Meng stayed steel cold, shutting down Sun Yingsha's last desperate surge. Back-to-back Olympic champion, a crown defended under fire. Hold up, if Sun Yingsha raised the heat, what happens when Wang Chuqin steps into battle? Wang Chuqin, November 20th, 2025. China National Games 2025. The tournament is so brutal even Olympic champions crumble. Wang Chuqin and Fan Zhendong met again. Just 5 days earlier, you witnessed world number 1 Wang Chuqin being crushed by Fan Zhendong in a brutal semifinal loss. Now they're face to face again. Shanghai Fan Zhendong versus Beijing Wang Chuqin for the men's team gold medal. Is this Wang's revenge, or will you watch another emotional collapse? Because in the final moments, Wang Chuqin banged his head on the table. What happened? Can Wang Chuqin survive this fight? And will you see him rise? Set 1, the first tremor. Wang Chuqin started like a storm, overwhelming the table with sheer power and authority. Yet Fan Zhendong's quiet, precise counters whispered of a looming threat he was about to unleash. But wait, You thought Wang Chuqin would sweep Fan Zhendong 3-0? Not even close. Suddenly, momentum cracks. With ruthless, surgical accuracy, Fan Zhendong turned the tide, cracking the momentum in a heartbeat. Wang Chuqin was forced to feel the crushing pressure mounting with every rally. Because in moments like this, you suddenly realize something brutal. You may be world number 1, but still only the second best player on the planet. But wait, you really thought the world number 1 was about to turn this into a 3-1 comeback? Yeah, that dream ends right here. Then all at once, everything shattered. With ruthless speed and icy accuracy, Fan Zhendong unleashed a merciless storm on Wang Chuqin, leaving the king defeated, speechless, and overwhelmed. Sometimes, even the world number 1 can't stop a world legend, and this collapse proved it. Then, set 4, the decisive moment. Wang Chuqin battled to the edge, but when the crucial shot slipped, it all fell apart. He slammed forward, head striking the table, a king crushed under the weight of the moment. And just when it couldn't get crazier, if you think Wang Chuqin's final was brutal, are you ready for the storm waiting in Wang Manyu's showdown? If you love rivalries that burn with this kind of intensity, hit like and subscribe, because the battles only get hotter from here. Wang Manyu, China National Games 2025, the tournament where even Olympic champions struggle to survive. November 16th, women's singles final, Sun Yingsha versus Wang Manyu. They look calm, but this rivalry is brutal. Wang Manyu keeps flipping matches she's not supposed to win, hitting Sun Yingsha with shocking, painful defeats. Every time it happens, you can see Sun's frustration break through her calm, because in China's system, only one can stay on top. This rivalry isn't about hatred, it's about survival. So now the question is, can Wang Manyu conquer this unforgiving arena, and will you witness it? Set 1, the awakening storm. With raw, fearless energy, Sun Yingsha strikes first, her attacks blazing across the table. But Wang Manyu absorbs the impact, her determination quietly igniting beneath the surface. You really thought Sun Yingsha would sweep Wang Manyu 4-0? Not even close. But here's the counterstrike. Wang Manyu responds with calm, unshakable resolve, every shot measured and precise. Sun Yingsha's early dominance crumbles as the momentum swings sharply in her opponent's favor. Then, here's the heartbreaker. With each rally, the pressure mounts, thick and suffocating. Wang Manyu strikes back with cold, unwavering accuracy, fearless in the face of the storm. You thought Sun Yingsha, the 2024 Paris Olympic silver medalist, would storm back and take it 4-2? Forget it, that hope dies fast. Next, the pressure crushed her even more. With ruthless precision, Wang Manyu dominates the table, sharp and unstoppable. Sun Yingsha struggles for space and breath as the pressure closes in from every angle. Then suddenly, chaos explodes. Blasting to a 7-1 lead, Sun Yingsha looked in control, but Wang Manyu forced a brutal, heart-stopping 16-14 fight. The advantage that once seemed comfortable suddenly turned frighteningly fragile. Set 6, the decisive moment. Racing ahead 8-2, Sun Yingsha looked untouchable, until the momentum reversed, turning the final points into a 9-11 nightmare. A win that felt in hand vanished, leaving only heartbreak. You think that was wild? If you think that was intense, what happens when two brothers push each other past the breaking point? Felix Lebrun, November 22nd, 2025, WTT star contender, Muscat, where Felix Lebrun faces the storm. Tension floods the arena. Felix enters, intense, unsteady. Alexis steps in, focused, fierce, past injury long behind him. A 7-set war is about to ignite, and you're about to witness it. Raw emotion, volatile energy, brother versus brother, fire versus fire. When both lose control, who erupts last, and will you see it firsthand? Set 1, the fuse lights. Felix storms in blazing, sharp, explosive, fearless, playing like he's got something to prove. Alexis feels the shockwave, but the pressure cracks the line as Felix seizes the momentum with fire. But wait, you thought Alexis would fight back next? Not even close. Then everything tightens. Felix attacks with wildfire intensity, pushing harder, faster, sharper. Alexis flinches under the heat, one half step behind, and Felix pulls ahead once more. Next, Felix goes full inferno. Each ball hits like fire, louder, faster, hotter. Alexis is driven back, overwhelmed as the momentum crushes him. But wait, you thought Felix could sweep 4-0 and win this match. Forget it, the twist hits now. In an instant, the energy flips. Alexis awakens with icy control, carving clean winners while Felix loses his grip on the tempo. All in a sudden, brothers collide in a flash, emotions explode, Felix surging, Alexis answering with equal fire. The chaos peaks, and Alexis snatches the set as Felix cracks for a moment. Then, Alexis rises like a storm, hitting every ball with brutal conviction. Felix buckles under the surge, dragged unwillingly into a brutal deciding set. But wait, you thought Alexis could sweep Felix 4-3 and take the match. Forget it, the real twist is coming. Set 7, the decisive moment. The rivalry erupts, Felix and Alexis locked in raw, volatile fire. They push each other to the edge, until the final shot decides the war. Now get ready. If the Lebrun brothers left the arena shaking with their fire, then how did Ma Long, fresh off knee surgery, face Fan Zhendong in the Olympic final? If you love rivalries that burn with this kind of intensity, hit like and subscribe, because the battles only get hotter from here. Ma Long. 2020 Tokyo Olympics, July 30th, men's singles final. Ma Long faces the fire again. The legend stepped into the arena, a man the world once believed was finished. But you already know, some legends don't die that easily. But this wasn't just a match. This was a rivalry boiling for years, one you could feel from the very first serve. Ma Long versus Fan Zhendong. A brutal knee surgery in 2019 nearly ended everything. People said the dynasty was over, that Fan Zhendong would finally take the throne. Across the table, Fan Zhendong, the unstoppable new powerhouse, the challenger everyone believed would dethrone the emperor. The whole stadium reacted in one explosive gasp. Two eras colliding. Two mindsets refusing to break. And you could sense it. History was about to flip. Was Ma Long about to fall, or prove that this rivalry still belonged to him? Set 1, Ma Long strikes first. From the first serve, Ma Long was untouchable, every rally precise, ruthless, flawless. Fan Zhendong could only chase shadows. But wait, you'd think the 2016 Olympic champion Ma Long, ready to crush it 4-0? Not even close. Ma Long threw the first wave, but Fan Zhendong absorbed it, then fired back with brutal speed. At deuce, he stayed unshaken and dragged the match level. Another win for Fan Zhendong? Forget it. The momentum's about to break. Ma Long's experience took over, each shot calm and precise. Across the table, Fan Zhendong fought to break the rhythm but couldn't crack the wall. The tempo shifted, Ma Long dominated the table, calm and calculated. Fan Zhendong could attack, but every shot was met with ruthless precision. But wait, you'd think Ma Long winning this 4-1 over Fan Zhendong? Yeah, that prediction collapses fast. Then came the twist. Fan Zhendong's surge became unstoppable, each raging stroke forcing Ma Long a step too late. Set 6, the Emperor's Seal. He was right in front of Ma Long, lunging for that final ball as the thunderbolt blurred past. Left frozen in disbelief, Fan Zhendong could only watch the match slip away. After watching the most heated table tennis rivalries ever, which part surprised you the most? Comment below and share your thoughts with the reason why.